So let's discuss about two different halides given in our syllabus, that is trichlorides and phosphorus pentachlorides. Before starting, I'm mentioning here one more thing. These two halides are really very important for the synthesis of chloroalkanes in organic chemistry. When we will start the organic chemistry, the first chapter you are knowing the haloalkane and haloarenes. So in haloalkane, the methods of preparation of haloalkane, the first reaction is coming from alcohols, and then we will be use actually this PCl3 and PCl5. In organic chemistry, many of the reactions are actually based on the PCl3 and PCl5. So that is important for organic synthesis also. What is really important here? The important is the structure of PCl5, bond length discussion of PCl5, and structure of PCl3 is also important. And one more question which is given in the, I think, example, PCl3 fumes in moisture. 2 or 3 topics are important regarding to the reactions and PCl3, PCl5, and why PCl3 fumes in the moisture, that is also important, and bond nature of PCl5. So let's first discuss about the preparation. Let's first discuss about the preparation. The phosphorus and reaction of chlorine. Phosphorus and reaction of chlorine, that will give you PCl3 and PCl5 depending upon the concentration of chlorine. Both reactions are same now. Both reactions are same. The difference is if we are taking excess of chlorine, the phosphorus, that is called red phosphorus, actually produced the PCl5. Limiting quantity, if we control the chlorine gas through the red phosphorus, then we'll have a PCl3. So that is the only difference of the concentration of chlorine used during the production of PCl3 and PCl5. You can balance the reaction if you want. That is the first reaction of method of preparation. The second reaction is the reaction of phosphorus with thionyl chloride, thionyl SOCl2. So react with this. With thionyl chloride, there is one difference. When we are taking excess of thionyl chloride with a red phosphorus, we are having phosphorus trichloride, phosphorus pentachloride, and with a limited supply of SOCl2, the thionyl chloride, we are having a phosphorus trichloride. Sulfur dioxide gas released in both the cases. The difference is the third minor product you can see here, S2Cl2 is also found, I think, S2Cl2, but in the case of excess supply, S2Cl2 is not formed. All the production is actually concentrated towards the SO2. These are the methods of preparation given in the NCERT books, and that is only important. You have to focus on the first, how to react the red phosphorus with a limited supply of chlorine and excess supply of chlorine. That is the one of the method given in the NCERT to produce the PCl3 and PCl5. If we are dealing with the structure, if we are dealing with the structure PCl3, the structure is just like the structure of ammonia, that is called a pyramidal shape. Pyramidal shape, you can see here now, there is a one lone pair, on the phosphorus atom. So the structure will be pyramidal. Hybridization sp3. But if we are making the structure, the geometry of PCl5, because of the 5 bonds, all 5 different orbitals from 1s, 3 orbital of p and 1 orbital of d are utilized in the hybridization. So structure will be a trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal. The structure of PCl5 and discussion of the bond length is actually important for the CBSE exams. All type of CBSE exam, the most probable the question which is asked from this topic is actually the bond discussion in PCl5. You can see there are 2 different types of bonds. The one type of bonds are actually at 120 degree, that is called a planar bond. All 3 Cl which are in a 120 degree is actually called a planar bond, also known as equatorial bonds. Equatorial bonds. And the 2 different bonds which are coming out of the plane and below the plane, that is called actually axial bonds. That is called axial bonds. Students, in any type of molecule, if there are axial bonds are present, they are always in a longer bond length than equatorial. Axial bond length is always longer than equatorial bond length, always, because of the extra repulsion experienced from the plane bond, from the planar bonds. Actually, these 2 fluorine which are at the axial position, they experienced the repulsion from the bond pair in the plane, and the bond length hiked. The bond length expanded somewhat the expected value. For example, there is given actually the bond length of an axial bond is 240 picometer. No need to learn the bond length. 240 picometer is given here, but no need to learn actually. Just learn only one thing: the axial bond lengths are greater than equatorial because of extra repulsion experienced by the 3 different bond pairs situated on the planar condition. So axial bonds are always longer than equatorial. So one more thing you have to learn here. That is, whenever the bond length increases, the stability of bond decreases. The bond dissociation enthalpy, the amount of energy required to break a 1 molar bond, the bond dissociation enthalpy is actually inversely proportional to the bond length. The greater the bond length, the lower the value of bond dissociation enthalpy, also known as bond enthalpy. So you can say that in PCl5, the 2 axial bonds will be less stable than 3 equatorial bonds. So the discussion is about the bond length and stability of the bonds. Bond lengths are greater in the axial position, and stability is also lower in axial position. That is important question from this topic. Next thing, what we have to learn, that is how these 2 different halides react with different organic compounds having OH group. because halogen having tendency to substitute the OH group present in the different organic compounds like alcohols, like carboxylic acids. And these reactions are given here. Let's discuss. The first reaction is have you seen this? Have you seen this reaction? Are you able to see this reaction? Last one. Anyone? So actually class, PCl3, the chlorine atom can displace, substitute the OH group attached in the carboxylic and alcohol, and there will be production of, you can see CH3COCl, and here will be CH3CH2Cl. Chloroalkane, and here acetyl chloride, carboxylic, one of the derivative of carboxylic groups, that is called acetyl chloride. What is the byproduct? Actually, in both the cases, you have to be learn the bond nature. In PCl3, all three bonds are similar bonds. So whenever the possibility of the reacting the chlorine atom with the OH group, all three chlorine atom can participate in equal manner. So all three chlorine atom here will substitute the OH group from the carboxylic and alcohol. So we have a production of 3 molecules of this and 3 molecules of this. And next reaction, next product will be the phosphorus acid, H3PO3. The phosphorus acid. Here also H3PO3 will be formed. Here also H3PO3 will form. Look at the concept of reaction. If the same carboxylic or alcohol will react with PCl5, the byproduct will be changed and byproduct will come here. The byproduct will be depending upon the availability of chlorine atom which can bond here. Actually, in PCl5, you can see there are two different types of possibilities to break the bond. That is, the unstable bond of axial position can break earlier than 3 equatorial bonds. So, in a general reaction, only axial position bonds will be utilized to substitute the OH group from the carboxylic as well as alcohol. So the byproduct will be a dissimilar H3PO3. The main product will be similar. And that is look at the byproducts. The main product is a chloroalkane. Here also chloroalkane was formed, but here the byproduct was H3PO3, but now we are having a POCl3, a byproduct, along with HCl, the production of the gas. Detailed reaction of these two halides will be in a haloalkane haloarine. So we'll discuss there also. Let's discuss some more reaction that is necessary for this topic and are inorganic. Because these reactions are organic, we'll discuss again in organic section. You have to be importantly note the inorganic reaction which is given here. That is, what is the decomposition of PCl5 will give. What will happen if the PCl3 react with water? So if the PCl3 react with water, that is called, in the presence of moisture, the PCl3 form a fumes. A PCl3 fumes in the presence of moisture because of the production of HCl gas actually. Hydrochloric acid combined with moisture and look like a fumes. Look like a fume. So that is necessary reaction given here. You can react the PCl3 plus water. PCl3 with water. And the reaction is HCl, a fume, along with what will be the byproduct here? What will be the next product? Anyone? I think H3PO3. I think H3PO3. Yes, phosphorus acid along with HCl, which is actually fumes in the moisture. So the question, why does PCl3 fumes in a moisture given in the example? Can we deal with this reaction? Because there is a formation of HCl gas when PCl3 reacts with water that look like a fume. That is another reaction given in your syllabus. And the one reaction based on the decomposition of PCl5. Decomposition of PCl5 again give, as I discussed many times, in PCl5 the two different axial bonds are unstable. That's why whenever PCl5 decomposes, it always produces chlorine gas along with a PCl3. Chlorine gas all have the similar region. The production of chlorine gas because of the two axial bonds are unstable, which is easily break down, removed from the PCl5 and will give you a chlorine gas. So decomposition of PCl5 gives you a PCl3 and chlorine gas. That is another reaction given in our syllabus. So this is all about the PCl3 and PCl5 class. Along with, there are some other reactions given like reaction with metals. What will happen if some of the metals like silver and tin react with PCl5? Metals, whenever react with the halogens or compounds of halogen, they always produce the halides. This is a very common trend. Metals having tendency to react with halogens or halogen compounds to give a halides, a metal halides. So same way, silver, tin or any other metal which will having tendency to react with halogens or halogen compounds, they will produce halides of the respective metals. Like a silver produce silver halide, silver chloride, tin produce tin chloride. That is all about the reactions given in our syllabus only. What is the important here? The important is about the axial stability of axial position chlorine, then equatorial position, the decomposition of PCl5, the fumes of PCl3 in the moisture, reaction of PCl3 and PCl5 differently with carboxylic acid and ethanols. So all these are having some different concepts given in your syllabus, but you have to be learned. Now we can move to the next section. And next section is about oxoacids of phosphorus. Oxoacids of phosphorus.